No, you're hurting me.
They're hurting you.
Okay, no, they're not. They're not touching you.
We have it on video, sir. You blowing a whistle in people's ears, damaging their hearing. It's on video. Hey, the media, you saw what happened here. The left shut us down.
Yeah.
They hate free speech. They hate free speech.
Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile, Congressman? Are you a pedophile?
Get back.
Are you a pedophile, Congressman Gaetz? Are you a pedophile? Congressman, are you a pedophile? Are you a pedophile, Congressman Gaetz?
Are you sure?
What? In people's ears, dude. Are you trying to assault people?
They should move away.
Are you trying to assault people
They should move away.
with auditory weapons? Why are you assaulting them?
They're my problem. They're my problem. Congressman Gohmert is my problem. Congressman Gaetz.
Congressman, I want to turn to another subject, an important one. These, as you're calling them, and that's what they are. They're prisoners, January 6th prisoners there in D.C. jail. You were there today. When I say there, why don't you explain what there means? Because I understand there were some interesting developments when you tried to see the situation there at the D.C. jail.
Yes, David, as members of Congress, we have oversight over all kinds of facilities like federal prisons, like detention facilities that hold illegals that are either there waiting to try to get amnesty. They're being held there because they've been charged for crimes in our country. We have oversight over these facilities. Just a couple weeks ago, remember I told you I went to the border and toured a detention facility where illegals are held by ICE and the U.S. Marshals. But today we went and visited the D.C. jail here in Washington, D.C. to ask questions about the January 6th defendants, because there's been a lot of very disturbing stories coming out. And we just wanted to assess conditions there, not just for those defendants, but for the entire prison population. Well, to our outrage, we were told that we were trespassing when we were standing in the lobby. And you can't even make this up. This has never happened before. It was myself, Matt Gaetz, Paul Gosar, Louie Gohmert. Some of them are members on judiciary. Some of them are members on oversight. Those two committees have oversight over federal prisons. And we as members of Congress should never be turned away. As a matter of fact, we should be invited in because we represent the American people, voters and taxpayers in this country. But we were completely rejected. And we were told that we were trespassing. And then when we went outside to talk to the woman that we were told is a supervisor, they locked us out. They locked the door and would not let us back in.
My goodness gracious, you're telling me sitting members of Congress who are tasked with oversight as it relates to this issue and many others, literally locked out of the D.C. jail, not able to do their job.
That's right, David. And I had concerns before I went there about the people being held in this jail. I have much bigger concerns now. I mean, we watched an attorney coming there, going up to try to visit one of his clients in the jail. He was turned away and told he couldn't come in and see his client that is being housed there in this jail. But I'm very concerned for these people. I'm very concerned that their rights are being violated. I'm concerned about the conditions they're being held in. And I'm very concerned that they're being treated like political prisoners.
Just so I understand, and maybe you don't have all the details now, or maybe you do, but the person or the people that turned you away were part of what? Was that part of D.C., would that be D.C. government, or is that capital? Does that have anything to do with federal, or is that more D.C. police?
It's federal. This is a federal prison.
Right.
And this is why we as members of Congress, we have oversight over federal prisons. And they told us with complete arrogance that we were trespassing and we were not allowed to be there. And then when we walked outside to speak to the woman we were told is a supervisor, they locked the door and would not let us back in. So I think there is a lot to be extremely concerned about. And I think there's many people that are going to be outraged over this.
Yeah, for sure. Marjorie Taylor Greene, great to have you on the show. I really appreciate your time. And it just does make you wonder, though, maybe just to wrap up here, what either they are hiding or what they don't want you to see.
Exactly. I think they have a lot to hide, because when I visited the detention center in California, they welcomed me in and were proud to show me the facility and the conditions that the people are staying in there. But I think the arrogance of these people to call us trespassers and to lock us out shows that there's a lot to hide. And so I'm very concerned about all of the people being held in that prison.
Wow, Congresswoman, thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate your time.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Every day in America, people are locked in prison. It's not every day that people are locked out of a prison, which is what happened to multiple members of Congress today. We have two principal responsibilities: to appropriate funds and to conduct oversight. How does the Biden administration expect us to participate in the representative republic when they deprive us of access to information that would inform our oversight work and our appropriations decisions? The questions we've asked have gone unanswered for months, and they fall into two principal categories. First, are there defendants, as a consequence of their conduct on January 6th, being deprived of access to potentially exculpatory evidence? We have seen that the FBI has a history of animating criminal conduct. That is precisely what happened in Michigan, and it may be what happened on January 6th as well. To answer that question, we need access to the 14,000 hours of videos that Congressman Gosar has continuously called for. To answer that question, to get that evidence, we sought a meeting with the Attorney General. We went to the Department of Justice, and we weren't even allowed in the lobby to have a meeting with an Attorney General who still to this day has not shown up for an oversight hearing before the Oversight Committee or the House Judiciary Committee. What is Merrick Garland hiding? The second category of concerns deals with the specific treatment of detainees. To get answers, we did what members of Congress normally do. We showed up at the facility and sought a tour. This happens for Republicans under Democrat administrations. It happened for Democrats under Republican administrations. And now there is an unprecedented effort to deny members of Congress information that relates to criminal cases and that relates to the treatment of people that are held. We are not members of Congress who will go away. And so if you are out in the country and you believe that you are mistreated, targeted, abused, singled out as a consequence of your politics and your lawful activity, know this: we will continue to fight for you. I now hand the microphone over to my colleague, Congressman Good.